Welcome to the Job Flow Lab and to this masterclass on AppWorx Workload Automation, also known as Automic Application Manager. In today's session, we will explore this platform from end-to-end architecture, features, integration, ERP capability, use cases, and real-world workload patterns. By the end of this session, you will have a complete understanding of how AppWorx operates inside large enterprises, how it interacts with ERP systems like Oracle E-Business Suite, PeopleSoft, Illusion Banner, and how it supports hybrid cloud environment. Let's begin by setting the foundation, understanding AppWorks. In this chapter, we will break down what AppWorks is and why enterprise use it. AppWorks is a workload automation and scheduling platform designed to help organization automate repetitive tasks, batch cycle, and ERP-related processes. Unlike generic scheduling tool, AppWorks is tailored for business critical operational workload. Like key characteristics include ERP-centric architecture, database plus file-based automation, event-driven triggers, workflow that reflect actual business processes, native support for secure control execution pattern. AppWorks is widely used in industries where ERP systems are central, like higher education, finance, HR, payroll, manufacturing, public sector, and retail. Now come to the core capabilities. AppWorks offers several foundation capabilities that distinguish it from more generalized automation tool. First, centralized job orchestration. Everything from financial batch process can be centrally controlled. Second, ERP application integration. AppWorks was built with native support for major ERP systems. This enables automation of concurrent program, SQRs, payroll runs, GL processes, and more. Third, event-driven and calendar scheduling, and more. Third, event-driven and calendar scheduling. Job can be triggered by file arrival, database value changes, completion of other change job, the business calendar, cut-off schedules, fiscal cycle. Fourth, model workflow design. This process flow design allow administrator to build detailed and recovery path. Fifth, secure and auditable execution. RBAC in encrypted communication, audit logs, and workflow history are all part of the platform. This capability support environment where reliability is non-negotiable. Now come to the AppWorks product architecture. Let's understand the architecture that powers AppWorks. The system consists of six core components. First, application manager server. This is the brain of the system, the scheduling engine. It manages dependency, job condition, workflow sequences, and execution logic. Second, AppWorks agents. Agents run on ERP server. Second, AppWorks agents. Agents run on ERP server, database server, Linux, Unix nodes, and application server. They ensure secure and controlled execution. Third, database repository. Hold metadata, job definition, calendars, logs, SLAs, and execution history. The repository is critical for audit and compliance. A visual design tool for building workflow, step, branches, condition, and loops. Fifth, event and condition monitoring layer. Monitor files, tables, queues, flags, and business-defined triggers. Six, API and command line interface. Support integration with CI/CD tools, custom apps, and the third-party system. Understanding this architecture helps team design scalable and resilient workflow. Now deep dive in ERP integration. Workflow excel in ERP automation. Let's explore this in details. First, Oracle E-Business Suite. The AppWorks automate concurrent program, GL processes, payroll jobs, inventory batch cycle, ARAP operation. Second, PeopleSoft. In this automates SQL reports, batch processes, HR or payroll schedules, financials and student record processes. Third, Illusion Banner. In here, automates banner batch cycles, job submission processes, student and financial aid and HR workflows also. Fourth, JD AdWords and the other system. AppWorks integrate with variety of ERP environment using agent-based or API-based pattern. This ERP native integration are major reason enterprises adopt to the database and file workflow automation. Many enterprises depend heavily on data-driven batch cycle, and AppWorks support this through database workflow like running store procedures, executing SQL script, monitoring table values, triggering workflow by data availability, file workflow. File arrival detection, file validation and transformation, movement between location, triggering downstream processes. Both patterns are essential in ERP and financial operations. Now come to the event-driven scheduling. Event-driven scheduling is one of the most powerful aspects of AppWorks, allowing job to react dynamically to business. This chapter expands into the granular mechanism behind event detection, propagation, and orchestration. First, file-based event. AppWorks can monitor various file system types like local file system, network shares, secure FTP, SFTP, location, cloud-mounted storage, shared drives in ERP or application servers. Typical file events include like file arrival, file size threshold met, file modified timestamp, file deletion, file name pattern match. For example, asterisk.dat, asterisk.xml, like this. Now, let's take a real enterprise example. Suppose a payroll department generate a weekly payroll input file. AppWorks monitor the folder for the exact naming convention. When the file arrives, the workflow validate file integrity, check header or footer count, triggers payroll batch job, send notification to HR and payroll teams. This create hands cycle. Now come to the second point, database events. AppWorks support database-based triggers for like table value changes, status column update, row inserts, lookup table update, result or flag conditions. Let's take a use case. In Oracle EBS, when concurrent program update, AppWorks can delete the change, trigger downstream PSSQL script, launch reconciliation report, initiate interface to PeopleSoft or Banner. Our database events allow highly reliable ERP to ERP orchestration. Third, application generated events. These are the events generated by the ERP modules, API calls, agent level condition, external application trigger, third party system posting messages. You can orchestrate full business processes end to end without human intervention. Fourth, business calendar and the fiscal calendar event. Organization often need month-end, quarter-end, year-end, fiscal calendar logic, holiday-based exception. AppWorks can support custom business calendar, multi-region holiday calendar, fiscal cycle dependency, workday versus non-workday logic. This ensure automation aligned with organization business rhythm. Fifth, cross-system event chaining. The scenario like file event trigger event, DB event triggers ERP concurrent job, ERP event triggers external script completion trigger downstream ETL. This multi-layer event chaining is essential in digital operation. Six, exception and recovery events. AppWorks support automated corrective action like retry logic, condition branching, error path workflow, automated escalation, rollback procedure, automated log capture. This drastically reduce operational workload and support tickets. Why event-driven scheduling matters? Because it enables zero manual intervention, high ability, faster processing cycle, lower operational risk. AppWorks excel in event-driven environment where timing, accuracy, and dependency matter. Now come to the cloud and hybrid development model. Today, most organizations are moving towards hybrid and the cloud-first architectures. AppWorks support this transition through flexible deployment, agent placement strategies, and the API-based integration. Let's go with the traditional on-prem deployment. AppWorks has historically run in the on-prem enterprise environment. Typically, component deploy on on-prem, application managers deploy on on-prem, application manager server like on-prem database, on-prem agent, for example, EBS, PeopleSoft, or Linux servers. This model is common in regulated sectors such as banking, higher education, government, healthcare. Second, cloud-hosted ERP workload. Many organizations are moving Oracle Cloud, Azure hosted PeopleSoft, AWS hosted Banner, Cloud hosted custom application. AppWorks support this model by deploying agent in cloud VMs, using secure tunneling, accessing cloud hosted database, integrating with managed DB services. Last one is a hybrid architecture. This is the most common deployment today. Typical hybrid pattern like AppWorks server and DB remain on-prem. ERP workload hosted in cloud, file gateway span both location, agent deploy in both on-prem and cloud VMs. Hybrid pattern allow organization to modernize gradually without breaking existing workflow. Fourth, cloud native integration. AppWorks doesn't depend entirely on agents. It can also integrate via REST APIs, SOAP-based integration, webhooks, SSH-based execution, database link, file-based API like S3, blob storage. This enable automation of modern workload even without native connector. Fifth, security and connectivity. Like key consideration is encrypted agent communication, firewall rules and IP whitelisting, list privilege roles, password vault integration, secure file path, VPN for hybrid workflow. Enterprise really heavily on AppWorks because its architecture is stable, predictable, and secure. Six, cloud scalability patterns. In cloud environment, AppWorks support horizontal VM scaling, agent load balancing, cloud auto-scaling group, high ability failover, multi-region redundancy. This ensure predictable performance even during peak workload window. Now come to the real-world use cases. This chapter expands on detailed use cases across industries to deepen understanding and ensure scripts and sustain the required duration. First, financial batch automation. Finance team rely heavily on consistent, accurate batch processing. Typical automated processes include general ledger posting, bank reconciliation file processing, receivable and payable updates, fixed asset processes, multi-currency conversation, billing cycle. Let's take a scenario. A daily GL upload triggers required file validation, SQL transformation, EBS concurrent program execution, exception reporting, email alerts to finance controllers. This reduces hours of manual check. Second, HR and payroll. HR and payroll cycle must run with a precision. AppWorks can automate payroll input file check, payroll calculation workflow, benefits eligibility cycle, leave accrual updates, employee data sync job. For example, when a payroll file passes validation, a series of dependent jobs run automatically, ensuring department receive correct output. Third, higher education workload. AppWorks is widely used across universities and higher education institutes. Typical workload include student record update, admission batch runs, financial and calculation, tuition billing, registration synchronization, graduation eligibility processing. For scenario, banner database update trigger downstream job that prepare reports for registrar teams. Fourth, manufacturing and supply chain. Automation in manufacturing relies heavily on inventory updates, shop floor data processing, production batch cycle, quality shipping, and logistic job. AppWorks ensure accurate sequencing so there is no delay on the production floor. Fifth, shared service operation. Shared service centers are used by AppWorks for invoice automation, vendor data update, intercompany transition, financial intercompany transition, financial consolidation, compliance workflow. Six, IT operation and day offs. AppWorks also plays increasingly important role in deployment automation like pre-prod to prod sync processes, data refresh, secret log analysis, test environment provisioning. This ensures that IT operation runs smoothly and consistent. Let's come to the best practices. This chapter add depth of professional implementation, governance, and operational guiding principle. Workflow design first. Workflow design principle. Workflow design first. Workflow design principle. Avoid single monolithic workflow. Break processes into modular, reusable components. Use descriptive naming standard. Document job dependency clearly. Second, calendar governance. Calendars should be standardized, version control, cycle. This avoids silent schedule failure. Third, parameterization. Use parameter for environment specific value, file name and paths, data ranges, application flags. This eliminate duplication and reduce maintenance. Fourth, error handling and recovery. It's enable automation retrieves, conditional job path, fallback action, log analysis, notification upon failure. This reduce downtime and the support effort. Fifth, repository management. Regular tasks should include purging historical logs, monitoring database size, archiving all schedules, reviewing orphan job, validating calendar entries. 6. Agent strategies. Plan agent deployment based on load balancing, security segregation, ERP node placement, OS compatibility, application dependency. 7. Documentation and change control. Every workflow must be documented, version, peer revised, tested thoroughly, approved before production rollout. This ensures predictability and minimize operational risk. 8. Monitoring and alerting. AppWorx provide internal dashboard, but enterprises should also integrate with Splunk, ELK, App Dynamics, Dynatrace, ServiceNow. This elevated visibility and SLA compliance. Now come to the summary. In this session, we explore what AppWorx is, its core capability, architecture and components, ERP and database integration, event-driven automation, real-world use cases, and last one is a best practice. AppWorks remain one of the most stable ERP-focused automation platform available today. If your organization relies heavily on Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, Banner, or a similar system, AppWorks provide deep automation capability that streamline operational and improve reliability. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Job Flow Lab for more deep dive content on enterprise automation.